Hi, welcome to Glow's Kindred Kitchen, and I'm Glow. Well, today I wanted to share a recipe with you that I have made over the years that is just delicious, and actually it would go really well for Easter. And it's called Saucy Lemon Pudding Cake. And it's very easy to make, very few ingredients, and you bake it in the oven. You can serve it either warm or cold, and it is delicious. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing that you need to do is to separate eggs. So I have 2 bowls here, and I'm going to show you how I separate my eggs. I tap it on my counter lightly, and the goal here is to try to break the egg so that it's going to be kind of even so that you can separate the yolk from the white. I always start with the bowl that I want my whites to go into. So see how that just slides right off? Almost made a mess there. But that's all there is to it. There we go. I'm going to put the yolk over in this one because the part of the recipe that we'll be doing, the yolk will be beaten up with the flour and the sugar and salt. So let's go ahead and do the next one. And I've also found that baking, it's best to use room temperature eggs. And if your eggs aren't at room temperature, just take a bowl of warm water and put your eggs in it for 5 to 10 minutes, and they should be pretty much room temperature at that point. So let's go ahead and break this one. See how that white comes right out?
Yes.
There we go. That one broke a little, but that's okay. So I'm going to wash my hands here in my sink of warm sudsy water, and I'll be right back to do the next step. Hi, well now we're going to beat these egg whites, and there's just 2 of them, and the recipe says to beat them till they're stiff. So I have my little beater here, and I'm going to go ahead and start this up. It's going to take a couple of minutes. This bowl I'm using is a frosting bowl, but I find it works real well for beating egg whites. They seem to beat quicker. So I'll be back with you in a few minutes and we'll go on to the next step. Hi, well I got done beating my egg whites. You want to beat them until they're pretty stiff. And so you can tell here that they're pretty stiff. See? So that took about 3 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set that over there. Now I've got my 2 egg yolks here, and what we're going to be doing next is I'm going to beat these just a little bit, and then we're going to be adding a 1/4 cup of lemon juice, which was 1 whole lemon squeezed. So you just cut it in half and you squeeze it. I used my lemon reamer here. But before you do that, you want to zest your lemon. It calls for 1 teaspoon of zested lemon, and that's took the whole lemon. And I've got that right here. And I use a zester like this. And I use the small setting here. It works great. So, and then 1 cup of milk. So I'm going to go ahead and beat this. And on low. You don't want to just... And that's plenty. The goal is just to get that mixed up a little. So now we're going to add the 1/4 cup of lemon juice. And I include the pulp in it. It's delicious. And then the 1 teaspoon of freshly grated lemon zest. And this recipe, by the way, is out of a Betty Crocker cookbook. And I've used it for years, and it's just delicious. And then 1 cup of, I use whole milk. And I use the same measuring cup that I use to measure out my lemon. And so it does look like it's curdled a little, and that's fine. Because you're going to be pouring it all in here anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. That's all you have to do. Now it calls for 1 cup of granulated sugar. And quarter of a cup of all-purpose flour and a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. This is such a thin batter that you make a mess. I'm going to get my whisk out. This is just
too much power.
Yep. Be right there. So I'm just going to use this whisk. I'm all about trying not to have too much of a mess, and I like to clean up as I go. Then it doesn't seem overwhelming to me in the kitchen when I'm cooking. There. So I'm going to be back in just a minute, and we're going to fold these egg whites into this. Hi. Well, now it's time to fold in our egg whites into our batter that we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and you just lightly fold it.
Why is that, Miss Chloe?
So that you don't get rid of the air that's in the meringue, because that's going to help everything rise as it's baking.
That's what I thought. It is kind of a reminder.
Yep. Good question. You want to get as much as you can out of it too. So then you just lightly fold this. There. So now you pour it into a 1 quart. This is a 1.5 quart dish, ungreased.
Ungreased.
Yep.
At any speed.
That's kind of nice too. You know, it's just an easy recipe. You just lightly pour it in. And this recipe you can actually cook in your microwave too, and I have done that. Today I'm going to do it in the oven because I'm going to be baking some pork chops in the oven too, and haven't heated up anyway. So, but I just thought I'd share that. Both ways turn out really good. Let's see if I can get any more out of here. This is so good that you just don't want to waste it.
Especially at today's prices.
Yeah, that's so true. My hands are clean. That's something to be really careful with in the kitchen, is always make sure you're using clean stuff when you're cooking. So anyway, what you do then is I'm going to be putting water in this dish here, hot water, and I'm going to raise it up to about 1 inch. Actually, I'll start off less than 1 inch, and then you're going to put this inside of that, and you're going to let that bake at 350 degrees for about 45 to 50 minutes. So anyway, I'll see you back at the end, and we'll see what it looks like. Well, I just took this delicious smelling saucy lemon pudding cake out of the oven, and it just smells so good. But anyway, we are going to let this cool off a little, and when we serve it, you can serve it with whipped cream and fruit, whatever you have on hand. Today we're going to be serving it with strawberries and a little bit of mint, and of course a little bit of whipping cream. So I'll be back in a little bit after this cools off so we can taste it. See you then. Hi, well now it's time to sample this. I just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. Can you see that pudding in there?
Yes,
Okay.
I can.
So I'm going to go ahead and take a sample
good.
of this. I did put a little whipped cream on there, and I have some strawberries. You can smell the lemon.
Lemon.
This is good. It's excellent. You can serve this warm or cold. I actually like it warm, but either way, it's delicious. I'm going to have another bite.
Save some for me, Miss Chloe.
Well, this is such a refreshing dessert, too. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, please like and subscribe to our channel and give me a comment. Talk to you later. Bye.